And we begin our newspaper review with the Daily Nation. I am no pushover, Uhuru tells Ruto. And an image of him here at the National Delegates Convention held yesterday at the Ngong Racecourse. He's quoted as saying, "I wanted to leave politics and deal with other issues and had hoped to relinquish my position in such an NDC. But some people have decided to issue threats and use violence against us. Today, I want to tell them to look for someone else to intimidate, not Uhuru wa Kenyatta." You had that soundbite yourself in our opening story this morning. Battle for Jubilee Soul, former president moves to stamp his authority amid onslaught by group allied to President William Ruto. Party cleanup, faction led by nominated MP Sabina Chege and Iyala lawmaker Kanini Kega thrown out in changes, but the rebels fight back. Outside politicians claim that Uhuru's city meeting was illegitimate and was just another, quote, political rally. Let's also see what else there is. Education leadership crisis hits universities as terms of vice chancellors and councils lapse. More than 10 public universities do not have substantive chancellors and vice chancellors to oversee the operations, as some of the administrators have retired while others are to follow suit. Sugar scam, again we did this story. Jiraini, 7 others face theft charge in toxic sugar case. Suspects released on 400,000 shillings bail each after denying charges of conspiracy to commit a crime, abuse of office, theft, interfering with goods under customs control, and possession of restricted goods. Taxation, and we'll have some insight on this from Diana. Activists to protest over, quote, punitive taxes. At least 25 civil society groups have threatened to lead nationwide demos in 2 weeks' time to protest over punitive tax measures in the 2023 finance bill. Diana, it's been a busy couple of days. Sunday you began as the National Integrity Alliance, yeah. Speaking to the nomination of Nuruddin Haji, the serving Director of Public Prosecutions, as what people are referring to as, quote, spy chief. Yesterday, you not only delivered a petition to the Public Service Commission, you also addressed the Finance Bill 2023. Julian Zamboko advised me that now stakeholders are being invited to, make their case before parliamentarians. So tell us a little bit about what is it you had to say about the Finance Bill 2023. Is it true? Mumesema ushuru ikiongezwa na nyinyi na barabara.
Thank you very much, Olive, and good morning, Kenyans. Yes, yesterday we were sharing our analysis and thoughts around the Finance Bill. And we are very concerned about the increase in very, very punitive taxation that is being proposed in the Finance Bill 2023. And particularly because the government indicated they have reduced the fiscal deficit in the budget. So initially we were very excited and thought the government is finally considerate, they are reducing their expenditure. No, they just increased the target of how much revenue they will collect, but they will spend as usual. Yet, our analysis for the last 10 years is our budget deficit is always less than the amount of money we lose in corruption. And we are not seeing any proactiveness or steps to curb improper expenditure, theft of public resources, and so on. And Kenyans are really pressed, okay? Representatives of Okoa Uchumi were saying, initially we came with, people have very little in their pockets. And then we were reminded by especially organizations representing the youth and women, Kenyans' pockets are dry. What are you taxing anymore, okay? And our notice to now take to the streets and exercise our direct power is because of the bullish behavior or the bullish posture we see from the government side, saying not even a comma will be amended in the Finance Bill. It will be enacted as is. This is a bill that proposes to double the amount of VAT. With the trajectory we've had around petroleum products, immediately we are at 182 shillings. This will take us to 196. If the price remains this way. But with the expected increase, we are looking at fuel going all the way above 200. If fuel increases to that level, transport increases, cost of manufacturing, production, doing businesses increases. This is a government that promised to support the hustlers. These are the MSMEs and so on. What will happen to them? Their businesses will crash. You want to tax flour, yet Kenyans are starving. You want to increase tax brackets. The people who are earning below 24 or 24,000, yes, 24,000 and below, had a tax relief. You're taking that away and reducing the amount of money in Kenyans' hand when inflation is at an all-time high. What do you want us to do? We gave you power. If you keep chest thumping, then this country is ours and we will surely take to the streets.
Are they taxing flour?
Yes.
They are?
Yes, they're taxing flour.
Okay. I hadn't seen, I'm sorry, I'm looking for the Business Daily that actually did tabulated those numbers of the impact on fuel, the 16% VAT given already, the increase in the cost of fuel. As I look for that, I will look for that. Okay. I really hadn't thought about the budget deficit, about being, the targets have increased, but expenditure remains constant. Which flour are they taxing?
They are taxing wheat flour, cassava flour, I think even maize flour. I just need to confirm, yes. All flour, like food will be taxed.
Okay.
Flour.
Is it, so it's not just the elimination of subsidies that happened?
No, there's taxation.
Okay. All right, we'll look that up. Julian's is my Mwakenya, where matters economy are concerned, so we will look that up. Good morning, Wilkester.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
Good to be here.
As I mentioned, she was on her way. Wilkester Duma, director, ran for office in studio. All right, let's take a look at what else is on the front pages. Unless, Rebecca, you had something to add on the Finance Bill 2023?
Only the Finance Bill, of course, it is subject of approval by Parliament. Stakeholders are supposed to give their comments. I'm not an economist as such, but as it is, I mean, there's uproar in the country regarding the proposals in the Finance Bill. Taxation is likely to go up to 52%, which is a bit too high for the ordinary mwananchi. And as it is, I don't think we can, run an economy by overtaxing the citizenry. Kenyans are already hard-pressed. Everything is so difficult. When I go to the supermarket, Olive, I shop, and every time I ask myself, how is the very ordinary mwananchi surviving? I'm an advocate. Probably I'm able to afford ABCD, but still affording the very basic things from our supermarkets and our local shops is still so hard, even the middle class. So that what is happening, we are lowering our standards of living so that the middle class is becoming poor, the poor are becoming poorer, and it's not a good trajectory. For government to run the economy, for government to raise money, the citizenry should be able to earn. You cannot earn when you have nothing to enable you earn. You cannot, we're not even able to invest. I mean, if everything you earn will be for, okay, we've done away with sugar, now that it's poisonous. I mean, if everything that you earn is about buying your unga and cooking oil and your skuma wiki, then how will we develop as a nation? We have to have people with, funds to invest so that then we run the economy. We're able to employ that house girl, employ that other office assistant. But as it is, companies are closing down. People are letting their staff go. So it's not good for the economy. I believe Parliament is wise enough, I want to believe they are, to really not allow those proposals.
Okay. But Wilkester, she's quoted, Diana has quoted the Senator Cherargei, who said they will not even amend a comma in that bill. Should that be the case, they don't prove as wise as Rebecca believes them to be, Ukiitwa maandamano utaenda?
For the young people, I feel like every day is maandamano for us because looking at just the buzzword that has become the cost of living, and even just how, you know, even coming by opportunities is very difficult because for young people right now within the economy, what young people are really looking for is opportunities. And you're finding a lot of young people being forced towards entrepreneurship, which perhaps was not a path that someone picked for themselves. And even on the side of entrepreneurship, everything is going up. The cost of doing business is going up. The atmosphere is not becoming even friendly for business for, you know, young people who are traditionally using social media and these other avenues for business. So I feel like it's been maandamano for us for a long time as youth in this country. And a government that came in promising to really serve hustlers. And, you know, hustlers are these, at least according to my understanding, these young people who are supposed to be, you know, coming into the job market, people who are not there yet, right? And this is the bulk of the majority of young people. So I think it's maandamano for us every day. Yeah.
All right. So I am pulling up the Okwa Uchumi statement.
Yes.
To get a clearer idea from there. But we have the quotes. I'm using the Makenya word a lot today.
Yes,
we have
exemption.
Makenya here.
VAT exemptions, true.
We have Diana here. So, okay, so as I pull that up, let's quickly take a look at what else is captured on the front pages. Business Daily, squeeze on home buyers as banks tighten terms. Lenders cut mortgage terms by a year, increase interest from 11.3% in 2021 to 12.3% in 2022. Youths set ablaze tea plucking. We saw that report, tea plucking machines in Kericho. Youth take control of a tea plucking machine owned by Ekatera and Ekatera Tea Company, which they later torched on the outskirts, of Kericho town yesterday. Several other machines were set ablaze as residents faltered their use by multinationals in their region. This photo by Vitalis was taken by Vitalis Kimutai. CBK clears 20% sale of Nyachai linked credit bank. And on the ticker, let us see. Kerry targets record 16 billion shillings in betting taxes. As experts see landmines ahead, the taxman is looking to collect a record 16 billion shillings in excise taxes from betting, gaming and lottery businesses in the next financial year as it tightens revenue leakages in the sector. Continental Hotel heirs to pay 521 million shillings Co-op bank loan, and Merali company sells 35% stake in Everready, a firm owned by the family of late businessman Naushad Merali has signed a deal to sell its 35% stake in Everready to Dubai-based Invest Africa FZCO, cutting its losses in the NSE-listed entity. Let's take a look at the Taifa Leo. And here we have an image not only of former President Uhuru Kenyatta. We also have Sabina Chege captured on the front page. Kanini Kega, Rigathi Gachagua, President William Ruto. The headline says, siwaogopi, Uhuru ananguruma huku akiangushia shtoka viongozi 9 waasi wa chama cha Jubilee. Mapinduzi awang'oa Sabina Chege na Kanini Kega katika chama hicho, huku viongozi wenzake wa Azimio wakitishia kujiondoa katika mazungumzo iwapo Kenya Kwanza haitakoma kutikisa Jubilee. And I see they've also quoted the former president here as stating, sisi ni watu wanaopenda amani, kukumbatia amani hakumaanishi sisi ni waoga, hautatusikia tukitusi mtu. All right, so that is the front page of the Taifa Leo. Masaibu ya Mhubiri Ezekiel yasikitisha wakazi Homa Bay. Pastor Odero aliyezaliwa kisiwani Nyanza anachunguzwa na polisi. I see an image here of the Inspector General of Police, Japhet Koome. Sukari ya kilo 800 kutoka Uganda ya naswa Kisii. Polisi wanasa sukari katika nyumba ya mkazi wa Borabu. Bei ya bidhaa hiyo ikipanda juu zaidi. Mashirika 25 yatishia kuunga maandamano, yataka mswada wa fedha wa mwaka wa 2023 na kusudiwa kuongeza ushuru uangushwe bungeni. Maradhi ya akili yaongezeka, baadhi ya waathiriwa huazia kujiua kutokana na ugonjwa huu hatari unaotatiza wengi. So that is the front page of the Taifa Leo. And actually, I forgot to mention that Leon Lindigu has a special report in the Daily Nation on health and amputations. I will quickly highlight that after we take a look at the front pages of the Standard and the Star. I am here to stay. Uhuru Turuto, party rebels, defending Jubilee. Former president says he had embraced retirement until some forces wanted to take over his party. NDC kicked out rebels, installed new faces to lead outfit. I wanted to resign from politics to focus on other things. In my mind, I thought the NDC would be my time to down my tools. That was my previous thought before others decided to force things. I want to tell them to look for someone else to intimidate, not Uhuru, he said, wa Kenyatta. All right, fuel prices. More Kenyans abandon cars for matatus. Puzzle of junior city hall worker with 537 million shillings in assets. More on that on page 2 of the Standard. I mean, at this point, I don't know whether we are now immune to these types of stories, jaded, but it is indeed shocking. Increased taxes, we strike, civil society warns, and how it went wrong for Kenya Sevens, and court holds Shakahola inquiry. I am curious about this story of this junior city hall worker, so let's flip and see what that is about. Page 2 of the Standard, and also on page 2 of the Standard, we see an image here of the KEBS boss charged over contaminated brown sugar. Others there in the dock. And then here's the story we were looking for. Court freezes purchasing officers' property worth 537 million shillings over graft. And if I flip through to page 2, on my hard copy, it tells us, and this report is by Paul Ogemba, a procurement officer at Nairobi City County is on the verge of losing properties worth 537 million shillings he allegedly acquired through corruption. This follows a suit filed at the High Court by the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. According to EACC, Michael Auka Ajwang engaged in corrupt practices leading to acquisition of the assets which are beyond his known sources of income. And there's a quote here: "We established that between January 2014 and June 2022, when he was employed as purchasing officer at City Hall, he engaged in acts of abuse of office and bribery by receiving millions of shillings through kickbacks from entities that were awarded tenders by the county government." The value of the junior officer's legitimate assets, cumulative salary plus those derived from his other businesses, is 4.6 million shillings according to the EACC. All right, so and the reason I took the time to look at that is because we are discussing issues of integrity. Let's take a look at the front page of the Star now, and their headline reads as such: Uhuru cracks whip in Jubilee power struggle, says adversaries were mistaken to believe that he could be twisted into submission. An image here of him at that delegates convention seated alongside Raila Odinga, Kalonzo Musyoka, as Azimio chiefs reunite in aggressive pushback against Ruto. ODM's Raila Odinga, ex-president Uhuru Kenyatta, Wipers Kalonzo Musyoka during the Jubilee NDC at the Ngong Racecourse yesterday. Here are the quote rebels as they've been described across the dailies this morning. Jubilee Secretary General Kanini Kega with a faction of Jubilee leaders during a press briefing in Nairobi yesterday. It looks like Advice Mundalo has switched sides from Jubilee Asili to Jubilee Kenya, if that is him indeed behind Kanini Kega there. But I will invite him on Friday, and he will help us identify whether this is indeed him. It looks like him. Okay, then also on the front page of the Star, wife of missing police officer appeals for help counties in 36 billion shilling employee pension crisis. DPP launches online platform to raise complaints. The office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, and that is a Star, yesterday launched a digital platform for Kenyans to raise complaints and request case reviews online. The Malalamishi system platform was launched in the Nairobi remand area. So I will leave our interrogation of the dailies there. Come back with my panelists now that we have mentioned the DPP, because there is an issue there civil society has raised. So we will come back with that and topic full steam ahead on the other side of this break. Just reminding you who I have in studio, Rebecca Mogire. She is an advocate. She will be telling us this chapter 6 story.